And we are live. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where today I'm here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It's not going to happen this video, but that's okay. We will live to fight another day. Joining me is my co-host, Mrs. Best, who stepped away from her camera real quick, but she will be right here, y'all, I promise. So, as y'all see, Married to Medicine, Season 12, Episode 7, Boots on the Ground. Woo, this was a lot. Y'all, Bravo, between Potomac and Married to Medicine, ooh, we got a lot to get through. So you guys want to see these videos every week, y'all have to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Come on, help me get my subscriber count. I am on the road to 500. Please, y'all, go ahead and subscribe to me. And while you're subscribing to me, please subscribe to Mrs. Best as well. We do collabs together for the majority of our shows. On her channel, we have Love and Hip Hop Miami. We just got done doing 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. We also have the new channel, which we collab with Keywan J. We have that one that is Love After Lockup or Love During Lockup. One of them is one of the love in between the or afters. And then we also have on her channel the Valley Persian Style, which that's another Hot Mess Express as well. So, oh, Lord, not jeans and a t-shirt. I see. But y'all, so let's get into this recap now that I did my housekeeping. So the episode starts up. We're divided in cliques, you guys. So Dr. Jackie wasn't involved with either clique, so she hits the spearhead. On the left side clique, we have Quad, Angel, Mimi, and Dr. Heavenly. And on the right side clique, we have Toya, Contessa, Simone, and Brandy. So each one of them are collectively talking about the family reunion, and it's brought up that Heavenly has a brother. And Contessa was shocked. She said, well, because y'all have to understand, Contessa and Heavenly used to be best friends. They used to be very, very close. So this is a big shock to Contessa that Heavenly has a brother. And it's actually a shock to everybody. So Heavenly said that it was really big of her brother to come to the event and, you know, show his face. She said that was really brave. And Quad asked, do you want to get a DNA test with him? And she says, if he's open to it, absolutely. I would love to give one. And Contessa brings up that she doesn't like that the group is divided. So she wants to throw a girls' trip. She thinks that she's the perfect person to do it since she's kind of mutual with everybody. So she thinks she's the perfect person to spirit. So she's going to plan it. And Toya's like, we don't even like each other. Like, why would we have a girls' trip? Just being negative. So she's like, it's going to be nice. On my girls' trip, everybody's going to get along. We love each other. We're sisters. We're going to do this. On the other side of the clique, Angel brings up that at the family reunion, Toya blew up her spot with her little doctor friend. So apparently more happened to that conversation with Toya than her just outing out. Well, I thought you wanted me to hook you up with a doctor. Ain't that what you did? Ain't that what you said? And apparently Toya asked other invasive questions. Is Angel good in bed? How is the sex? Like, what's his hidden foe? All these different things. And I'm just like, whoa, Toya, now you're doing too much. Even on the other girl side, when Toya mentions that she blew up Angel's spot, everyone's like, Toya, that's wrong. You shouldn't have did that. That is wrong. Like, why would you do that to that girl? Like, that's not cool. That is breaking girl code, which it is. That is crazy. Hey, Shana, thank you for being here. You guys subscribe to Shana_MCD. Her information is in my description box. So, Mrs. Best, we had a lot to uncover here. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions, get you all, you know, warmed up in the girls. So my first question is, do you think Toya broke girl code for Angel and
Yes.
blew up her spot with the doctor?
Yes.
You didn't even let me finish my sentence, y'all.
Yes.
Would you feel a way about Toya?
Yes.
Okay, all right, all right.
If you don't do
How?
that, you don't do that. Females is just like dudes to a certain extent. If you finna be a wingman, if you finna hook somebody up with somebody, don't do that. But like Shayna said, Toya's a hater. Toya don't like nobody that has the life that she wish she could have without Eugene. That's it.
I agree 100%. Do you feel that Contessa is the perfect person to host a girls' trip?
Hell no.
I also
In the words of Mac Dre, is not her job. She don't do that. Okay.
I also thought I did something.
Just a few seasons ago, Contessa was trying to split the group because of her beef with Heavenly. And then a couple seasons before that, she was trying to split the group because of her beef with Toya. Contessa is always damn near splitting the group. Now you want to have a girls' trip? Girl, talk to us about Scott and them DMs. Is he still getting them? Is he still in people's DMs? Is the therapy there? Have you finally found a woman to, experiment with? Talk to us about that.
Yes, of course she have. It's that friend she had on Married to Medicine LA.
All Contessa need to do is figure out how to get a stylist. I don't want her to do nothing else. I want her to figure out a stylist. That's it.
Yes. But I joke with Dr. Britton, allegedly. You know, Dr. Britton, I love you, girl. You know I do. But anyways, y'all, let's move on. So we did have Heavenly's, campaign event. This episode was a lot about Heavenly. For her to be friend of, we have a lot of Heavenly.
That's why they're mad.
I mean, Heavenly might as well take Dr. Jackie's spot in the center of this photo, because I don't get why y'all make her. I get the legal part of her contract, totally got all that. But to me, I kind of feel like y'all could have just made an exception for her, because this whole episode was based on Heavenly. So Heavenly's campaign is here. This is where it was announced that Quad was her campaign manager. I feel like, because I used to date a lobbyist, I feel like you can't just give that job to anybody, especially if they don't have the background in it. But this is for the show. So, kudos. I wouldn't have Quad as my campaign manager personally. Mrs. Best, would you have Quad as your campaign manager?
No.
She shake her head no. Yeah, no. See? No.
So I think politics is important to have someone that has experience. I can understand why she would want to go with Quad, but I just think, especially with the state of this country and in a state like Georgia, where voter suppression is much heavier than in other states, you want to have someone who understands and knows what they're doing, or at the very least is connected to people in politics. Quad might be helpful for an event, or, in terms of getting the who's of Atlanta there, but in terms of politics, that's a whole different ball game from celebrity.
Absolutely. You said it so perfectly. Absolutely, because I just wouldn't. I'm not even a celebrity, y'all, but I just wouldn't do it. I just need somebody who has more connection, especially when dating a lobbyist. You kind of understand it from a different standpoint.
Oh, my sister does it and did it for the state of California for a long time in Sacramento. Mm-hmm. I learned a lot about politics, and there's a reason why you got to go and get a degree in political science to fully understand what's what and what goes on. There's so much to it. So Quad is highly intelligent, yes, but wasn't her major or something in like chemistry or like science?
I think it's like medical pharmaceutical. I think that's
something entirely different from politics and American government, like something totally different. Quad's intelligent, and I'm not taking away from that, but I just feel like people would have also taken Heavenly more seriously as a candidate if she had political representation that made sense, because that's what your campaign manager is. That's your first form of political representation. She got to figure it out.
I agree. So Heavenly's son Zach's there, of course, to help Quad. Heavenly shows up, but she goes, "Oh, Quad, this is nice. They're in a parking lot of something." And Heavenly, she gets the microphone. She goes, "Okay, y'all bring your asses, sit your asses down now. Come on, find you a chair, baby. Sit your ass down." And I'm like, Heavenly, no, just no, don't do that. Don't do that. But Quad's like, "Yes, we're gonna, people, find your seats and everything." The ladies are all showing up. It's hot, and Heavenly makes her speech, and she cracks me up because she said, everybody here supported me, well, except for one. And I said, "Oh, Lord, Heavenly, God damn, I want to be on your side," but I get it.
Nah,
I do get it.
Well, every person getting that Heavenly. What do y'all say when your president right now is on TV talking about the dumb Democrats, simple-minded this? The president be reading people for filth up there. He just say whatever the fuck comes to his mind. He just went live talking about Groceries are down, gas is down, insurance is down. All these things are up.
Right.
He just got in front of everybody saying whatever the hell he wanted. He referred to Joe as sleepy. Kamala is evil. Calls Jasmine Crockett, says she's very attractive, but he wished she would be quiet. Y'all want to come in Heavenly's mouth when really people like Heavenly wouldn't be able to run if y'all didn't elect. And yes, the people who didn't vote, you allowing people to be elected. The people we got in office right fucking now. That's where the shit got real ghetto. Listen, Bill might have been in the West Wing getting topped off by Monica, but he did that shit under wraps and she fled the country. Okay? These people now acted an absolute fool, but then want to hold Heavenly to the fire. Right. Jones, I don't understand that.
I just appreciate her using the platform in a way that has not been seen. And this is something after listening to her, because I've heard other speeches that she has done. She is really for the people. She wants to be the voice of reason. She wants to help the people in her community. And I feel like, why not? She's the person. She's loudmouthed. She's, very combative, but she's also a smart business person as well. And that's what I want to see as well. Since we have a president who was a smart business person, a little questionable at times. Really? Yeah, but I said a little questionable at times. But, I just feel like she's the right person I would want to see it makes sense for me. It really does. It makes a lot of sense for me. So, as she's done making her speech or whatever, Mimi, Angel, and Brandy were off to the side, and Mimi tells Brandy, I will be careful aligning with Toya. And Brandy's like, why? Why should I have to watch it? Like, why are you telling me to do it? Like, why are you saying I need to watch what I do and watch what I align with? That ain't what you're supposed to be doing. This is a political event. I need to see more from Heavenly. I need to see her professional. I need to see this. What I'm seeing is not getting my vote. She, And I said, okay, Brandy, you're entitled to that. I get it. But I feel like Brandy came off way too aggressive, and I felt like that was unnecessary. And I do feel like Mimi shouldn't have said that. Like, don't get me wrong. Mimi shouldn't have said don't align with someone like Toya. I don't think Mimi shouldn't have said that either, but I felt like Brandy took it way too far. So when Simone gets there all late and shit, and the shit is already over, mind you, she's like, what's going on? Why are y'all fussing? Why are y'all doing all this? And Brandy gets in Mimi's face and puts her back towards her and said, because this one right here saying that I don't need to be in a line myself with Toya telling me what to do and this and this and that. And I said, oh, Brandy, you just showed your complete ass on this television show.
Don't ever step in front of somebody unless if a bitch step in front of me like that, I'm gonna move your ass back to where the fuck you came from. Don't step in front of me. I don't know what you thought this was. There would have been a conversation. She lucky. She did that to the psychiatrist, and she's trained in cognitive thought processes and recognizing fight or flight. She is lucky. She is very lucky. Because all I could think was she did that to her. I said, I see why Jackie commented on your thyroid. That's all I seem to see.
Yeah, now I don't feel bad for you, Brandy. I wanted to roll with you, but I don't feel bad for you now, Brandy, because that was crazy, what you just did. Like, where is the nurse practitioner professional in you?
But at the same time, Mimi, you could have pulled her to the side and had a conversation with her, not at the event, about that with Toya, or you just could have done what most people would have done and clocked what Brandy was doing. Because it's like Shana said, I agree with that. I don't think Brandy will be there long. She's not that interesting. And then when she does have moments to show us how interesting she can be, it's just is not what I would care to see on a television show long term. It's just not. But Brandy needs to figure out her own lane. At first, I thought she was going to be showing us her med spa, her career, and the different things you can do with nursing, her family. But you went from showing us all of that to kind of being up Toya's ass, which Mimi, though her delivery was wrong, the message was right, because Toya included you in all of that when she got you together. She got all of y'all together for reasons that made no sense, as it's acted a complete donkey. And you want to defend Miss Toya. So I don't too much.
So Joshua Stewart said, I disagree that Brandy took it too far. Mimi should not have approached Brandy like, who had a right to her feelings. Maybe I need to rewatch that scene. I said that I wouldn't have said those things if I were Mimi. I said that. I don't think Mimi was right. I thought Mimi's delivery and I thought what
Mimi
she
shouldn't
was
have
saying
said
was
it.
wrong. She shouldn't have said it, period.
Mhm.
But where I'm clocking Brandy is her putting her back into Mimi's face and telling Simone what happened. That did not need to happen,
That's
is what
taking
I'm
it too
saying.
far,
Yes.
in my opinion, because it's physical. If somebody come to you and is questioning you about who do you hang out with, all Brandy needed to do was say, well, why does who I choose to align myself with concern you? I'm grown. Worry about
Yes.
you and I'm going to worry about me. But to do that and then to kind of get animated, jump in somebody's face and doing all of that, you're doing too much. Because then, let's say Brandy jump in front of somebody like Toya, who she's defending space like that. Knowing Toya, she would have snatched that weave back and moved her out of the way. So I felt like Brandy did too much, and she kind of only had that energy with Mimi because Mimi is newer. And I don't think she thought that Mimi would come at her like that. But at the same time, Mimi was wrong because it's kind of like, girl, you need to mind your business.
Right, exactly.
You
I
need to
feel
mind your business.
like, to me, I felt like if you were trying to defend Heavenly anyway, you would tell Brandy, well, why don't you have a conversation with Heavenly and see where her heart is, and maybe that may win your support. Like Contessa did. One thing I would respect about Contessa got right to the source. Contessa went up to Heavenly and said, like, so you really are serious about this. This is really what you want to do. And Heavenly said, yes, I want to be the voice for my people. I want to speak up. I want to do things that my people don't have the voice to do. I have the platform, I have the businesses, I have the money to do what a lot of people cannot do. I'm here for my people. So when Heavenly said it like that, Contessa was like, okay, I'm all in. I got you now. Because Contessa didn't know which way she wanted to go with this. But she said, you know what? No, Heavenly is smart. She does have successful businesses. She is the perfect person for this. So I'm glad that Contessa did it in a way where she just questioned the source. Brandy could have did that same thing, and that's what I wish Mimi would have told her. I feel like Mimi dropped the ball with just aligning her personal bias against Toya versus saying, well, why don't you talk with Heavenly and maybe seeing where you two can meet me. Maybe if you hear her message, maybe if you hear it, it may be better coming for you.
The thing of it is, though, who in this group is in the district that Heavenly is running for?
Right.
Because if you're not in her district and you don't have the ability to vote, shut the fuck up. Be quiet. Because then you're just tearing a Black person down for no reason in a state that honestly needs some political change right now that is of color. So it does make me side-eye everyone. And the other thing is, Brandy, if you're so big on politics and actually keep up with it, then how can you come at Heavenly and her behavior when you've barely known her, talking about you're not moved? It seems like what moves you is money and a big old convention and a big old established, event like you would see for people who've been in politics for years and years. But this is someone just stepping their front foot through the door. And it just seemed like Brandy throughout the event was there to talk shit with Toya. So yeah, I'm looking at Brandy. I'm like, girl, I'm not feeling you in your neck thus far. I'm just not. I'm not. Because I would respect her if it was her own opinion and we didn't see her kikiing with Toya, cackling with Toya, but then when Toya's not around, agreeing that Toya's doing too much when she's around the other ladies. Brandy has been wishy-washy thus far. So I'm just kind of like, girl, if you have an opinion, stick by it. But Mimi's also, I feel like since she bonded with Quad off camera in between the seasons, she's coming back with a different energy. So I could also say the same about Mimi. Like, it looks like she's slightly different and may be a little bit influenced by Quad. Either way, can somebody have their own mind? Somebody.
I agree, because it does look like that. So moving on from this scene, we have a scene with Simone. Jackie calls her, and Simone said, hello. I was like, I said, well, damn, Simone. And Jackie's like, well, I'm wondering where my lunch order is. So they meet up for lunch. And when they were meeting up, Simone was kind of letting Jackie know. She said she is tired of, working. She wants to retire. She's tired of delivering babies. She's just tired of doing it. She's delivered thousands and thousands of babies. She wants to retire. She does not feel like she can in her own household. And as she mentions in her confessional, when Cecil got laid off from corporate America, the brunt of the financial strain was now on her back, where she is bringing the majority of the money in. So she feels like financially her marriage has a huge strain. She loves Cecil. She has a lot of fun with him. They have great sex, from what she said. That was way too much information for me. But hey, I get it how you get it, sis. I ain't mad at you. But she just said that the cons are outweighing the pros in my marriage, and she feels that she wants to, at this point, look at options again for separation. And Jackie don't want that for her. Jackie said that, do you want to be divorced? Do you want to do this? And I'm like, Jackie, here you go. This is why she didn't go through it the first time. Because somebody in your ear always telling you what's not best for you, just it's just ridiculous. Jackie, like I would say, you know what? Yes, do what's best for you, friend. If you don't see the out, if you don't see the good, if you don't see the happiness, then maybe you should look at separating again and seeing if y'all can come back. There's nothing, y'all, let me explain something to y'all. There's nothing wrong with separating if your marriage realistically has come to that brick wall and you can't get across it. There's nothing wrong with taking some space, figuring it out, communicating what the problems are. Obviously, the problem with Simone and Cecil's relationship is that the money's not what it used to be, and a lot of it is on her. She wants to retire and enjoy some of her life, which she should do. She's worked really, really hard. I just feel like for me, I couldn't have a friend like Jackie telling me, do you really want that? Yes. If I'm not happy, yes. Why the hell would I stay in my marriage if I'm not happy? And the problem is not getting resolved, which is I need him to bring the money, because that's really what it is, y'all. She need him to bring the money that he used to bring in back in the household so she can retire. Let me know in the chat. Do y'all feel like Simone's entitled to retirement? I do. I feel like, hey, if you're ready, you should be able to retire. Not have to worry about your son spending $60,000 a year on the Chase credit card, or he needs a new car. I feel like Simone should be able to retire and live out the rest of her life. Like I really do. So Mrs. Best had to step away for a little bit, you guys, but she will be right back with us in just a moment. Oh no, she's back.
Getting at is
I'm right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you stepped away. That's a good question, Shani. Why don't Cecil go back to corporate America? Why don't he get a job where it would replace the money?
Lazy, and I don't think nobody was hiring him, so maybe he wasn't the best at what he was doing. All I know is if your wife is complaining and crying season after season because you don't contribute shit, and you hear that as a man, you're a sucker. Like that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. Because trust and believe, when I've struggled with work or felt overwhelmed and stuff, my spouse was like, you good. And then I didn't work for a few years and got a break. So I'm looking at him as a man like, okay, if my spouse can get that together at 26 years old without corporate America, Cecil, why can't you? So I feel like Cecil doesn't want to admit it. That's why he's clapping back at everybody online and stuff and is defensive, because I feel like he does to a certain extent know that the stuff that everybody is saying is true. You lazy. You sitting up here concerned about raising strong black men. You're raising lazy fucking black men that are expecting their mommy and daddy to pay for everything. And they're not going to have the expectation or know how to teach their sons, if they have them, how to cover everything. They're not going to be confident in their ability to take care of their wives if they watching you get taken care of by yours. So I'm tired of Simone crying about this. Bitch, you was going to divorce him years ago. It looks like you wanted to divorce him for reasons outside of Tammy. That was just all they focused on at that reunion. Clearly this marriage was broken in a certain extent, and this is proof. Like, if people want to leave, that feeling's not going to go away. I feel like Simone has tried to ignore it and stuff, but leave. Like, obviously she's not happy with him. He doesn't respect her, because if he did, he would get a job. And he's on the internet, I have this investment and that investment. Well, obviously your investments aren't that great if your wife is still working at the same pace that she would have worked at as a 40-year-old doctor. He overworked her. She should be slowing down, taking less patients, and or like moving how Dr. Jackie moves, moving into a field that is easier. But instead, she's expected to get sucked dry by a man who feels like, because he works some of the time of their relationship, like it's enough, and that's not fair. And he probably betting on her retirement.
Absolutely.
If I was Simone, I would leave his ass sooner than later, because the more you get, the more he can take. And Cecil gives that energy.
I believe he was a tech consultant for Coca-Cola, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken with the occupation, but I do know the job was Coca-Cola, which, once again, I don't know what Coca-Cola was going through at that time. I don't know what it is, because in Phoenix, they hiring like crazy out here. So I don't know what it is in Atlanta that make it different, but you never know. If they file for divorce, don't y'all? I can't even finish the Shanny because I just thought the name Phaedra. Don't listen. I can't tell people who to go to for attorneys. She's doing wonders for little short and stout over there on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So, hey, it is what it is. Oh, Keywan J, girl, I'm not going here with you today. Not my grandma said a wet ass with a dry purse don't match.
I'm tired of hearing about it, Simone. Divorce him or leave the show, because it's getting old. It's getting old. All you do is holler, but your words and your barking, it means nothing. It's literally just noise. Because she never changes. Simone is still the same from season 1 to today is season 12. She is still the same. She's not going to change. It's not fun to watch someone who lacks growth personally, interpersonally. It's just not fun to watch somebody who don't grow and just screams at the top of their fucking lungs with an overbite that look like it's going to come through the TV and snap at you. Like, it's old. Divorce Cecil or leave the show, please. Do something.
Do something, because I'm sick of this storyline. Like, obviously you're not
Get
happy.
you a side piece, Simone. Get you a rich side nigga, girl. Because if you're not going to go nowhere and you want to be paying for the life, then get you a little side piece that's got some money. Save the little allowances he gives you. Keep it to yourself and then go. Like, I can't. I cannot.
I don't think she'll leave either. Like, I do think it's real. I think it is a storyline, but I don't think she's, because you know what? It's too. Simone is from that time, and I hate to put this on Black women. I do, but I have to say this. Simone is from that time where you're not encouraged to leave a man. You're grateful to have one. She comes from the times where she listened to that old auntie.
I don't think she leaving him either. That's why I say, get you a side piece, Simone, and do what you do. I'm so tired of hearing about this, though. Season after season, it's the same thing. If they're not together trying to clean their son's house or help their boys move in, like, they're either talking about their sons who are grown and should not be talked about on the show no more, or they're going through it and she's tired and wants to divorce him again. And I'm sick of it. I don't want to fucking watch it anymore. I don't care. She does this every other season. I don't care no more.
Absolutely.
Shana, you right.
Yep.
You right. I feel like that's why he doesn't work. Like, I feel like he knows what he's doing to a certain extent.
That would be crazy as hell if that's what he's doing. Oh, Lord.
Something about Cecil just gives me, like, shady. Yeah. No shade, especially learning where he's from and seeing some of the things that the crowds that he has affiliated with. Something about Cecil gives me, like, shady. I think they're more friends than they are partners at this point.
I agree. So we're going to move it along, y'all. So Angel is having her reveal scrubs event. She has a line of scrubs that were coming out. She invites everybody. Pretty much everyone shows up, with the exception, because all the husbands showed up. Scott wasn't there. Was Damon there? Yeah, Damon was there. And everyone's here. But once again, we are divided. For whatever reason, we have cliques. You have... I know you lying. Wait, is he? That just threw me off. Keywan, you know you can't put shit like that in the chat. Yeah, because y'all know what I'm going to do. Now I'm about to Google that shit. Okay, let me finish this live. Lord, she's not got to Google that.
If she is, there'll likely be another live.
Yes.
Because...
Oh, okay. Oh, don't do that. Ooh, don't do that, because y'all, when I tell y'all an unpopular opinion was going to come out today, Mrs. Best got to go in a few minutes, but I would be like, let me tell y'all, I will keep her in that apartment for that. Yeah.
Not to go
Okay.
to my apartment.
Yeah.
Hold me
You got
hostage.
to. Yeah. Sorry, Martin Luther King. We this got to wait. We got to. But anyways, y'all. So they're talking, and they're all collectively here. Contesta brings up, that she wants to throw a girls' trip, and she wants to make sure that everybody's coming, everybody is, available. And as she's talking to the ladies, they all kind of go into their collective circles. And Brandy brings up the whole, situation with Mimi and how she feels like that Brandy shouldn't align with Toya. And Toya side her, she goes, no, we need to be questioning you. We don't need to be questioning it. And she goes, well, that's fair. I mean, it is what it is. I'll leave if you want me to. And I said, that's the problem. That's the problem. Because y'all want to run and talk. I'll be like, yeah, I said it. And this is what I said. I said that she shouldn't align with you. She should have a Brandy drunk because you don't remember Toya, or we get too drunk to remember that when you was getting all us ladies together, that you included Brandy along with me in heaven. You don't remember that? So that's why I said I have reason to say what I said. But Mimi not one of them confrontational ladies. She's not, and she doesn't have to be. She's a doctor. She doesn't have to be. So Heavenly comes in and they're talking about, you know, Simone wants to talk to Heavenly about the whole thing of campaigning and the notes that Toya made in text message while Simone was late and everything. And Heavy said, I don't want to listen to that. That's negative. I don't want to listen to that. I shouldn't have to listen to that. And everyone's like, you, Heavenly, talking about some negative? You, of all people? And Heavenly's like, no, see, I'm finna. So Heavenly's getting ready to cuss everybody out. Quad pulls her into another room and tells her, no, we're not about to do this. No, we're about to do that. And Angel comes down in this Beyonce inspired dress with the glasses and everything. And I'm just like, oh, okay. I thought she would come down with the scrubs, but never mind, never mind, never mind. So I saw Yandy ass. You could spot her from a mile away. That big ass green dress she had on. I saw Jennifer Williams. So she had a lot of heavy hitters up in there from the VH1 world too. And she's showing her scrubs, and they're nice. They're nice. I will give her that. They look very nice. She said they give you booty, they give you curves, they give you everything that you deserve, right? Yes, they do all of that. And I said, okay, okay. So the ladies collectively come into a circle, heavily still mad. And Angel looks at Toya and goes, Toya, we need to have a conversation about the family reunion thing. And Toya's like, okay, what's the conversation? She goes, we'll meet in private for that, but just know that is what I want to talk about, and we will meet up. And she goes, that's weird that you would bring that up. Why not say it now? Like, why not say here? This is my event. We will have that conversation at a different time, and I will name the place. Okay, Toya? Okay. And I like how Angel handled that. I did. There was a second time she did it, which I'll mention later. But Mrs. Best, how did you feel about a couple of things? One, how the ladies were trying to get at Heavenly for, the notes that Toya took and being messy. Do you think that was warranted at that event, or do you think that they were just being messy?
None of this should have been done at the event, but at the same time, they were being messy. But I want them to stop being messy at certain types of events. Save it for your cast trip. Save it for other stuff. I don't want to see events with Black doctors and healthcare professionals messy, unless it's Toyas or Quads, because they're not Black doctors or healthcare professionals. So.
Right. I thought it was very crazy. But did you like how Angel handled Toya?
Yeah. The thing with Angel is we have to remember Angel dealt with basketball wives, people that act a plum fool. Toya act like them. So I think that she'll be able to handle her with no problem. But I don't know. Toya's acting an ass this season, and I need the OGs to kind of call her out like they used to. I'm so tired of Toya's behavior. I really am. And y'all may hate me for this, but Toya and Heavenly are the exact same. The only difference is age. That's the only difference.
And one has more ambition than the other.
Yeah. Oh, and one of them respect their husband and won't be talking about how little his private parts are, complaining about his jobs, running people. Like, one of them respects their husband and one of them don't. But essentially, in terms of messiness and lack of coof, and ruining events, they are definitely one and the same. Because Toya been acting a fool since episode 1.
So
she's bored.
yeah, she's
Somebody give
bored.
her
Very,
something to do, please.
very. So it then gets heightened where the arguments are going all over the place now, and it brings up the conversation that happened where Heavenly told Quad about Simone looking up that VIN number. Simone says, I don't look up VIN numbers. Now, I will look up property. Yes, I will look up property, but I'm not going to look up the VIN numbers and stuff. And I can't believe you, Heavenly. I can't believe you. Heavenly's like, no, you ain't mad at me, but you mad at your life. You're mad at your man. You're mad at your kids. You ain't mad at me. Don't be mad at me. Now, I bring this kind of the conversation up because a lot of people felt online that Heavenly was wrong for bringing up what was going on in Simone's life and about, her being ready to leave Cecil and everything like that. A lot of people were angry at that. I actually wasn't.
People are only angry because they don't like Heavenly. If anybody else would have said it, people would feel differently. The Married to Medicine audience, I love them and I hate them because they're so loyal that they keep the show going, but at the same time, they're so biased that they refuse to look into all of that. Simone is fucking wrong. Don't be looking me up. Why are you looking at my property? It'd be different if she said she was doing background checks. That's one thing, to make sure you ain't dealing with creepers, criminals, things like that. But why are you looking up people's credit? Why are you looking up people's cars, people's houses and properties? Why are you looking that up? That's just you being nosy. That's not you protecting yourself. Because now you know everything about them and where they live, but they don't know much about you. And yeah, you could say they could look you up, but they haven't decided to do it. That's shady.
That's crazy. It's crazy that you would even think to do some shit like that. Like,
and then you mad that it got repeated that you do this and that you're being questioned because of this behavior that you did that is questionable. So now you want to attack Heavenly, and Simone does do this. She mad about her life. It looked like she don't want to be a doctor no more. She probably want to be out here making money like Toya and Quad without having to actually do what they're doing. However, Simone's stuck having to take care of Cecil and their 2 grown adults. I would be mad as hell and snapping at my friends too if I had to take care of 3 full-grown boys. I sure would, but I do think Simone hollers and goes off when things are not her way or when she looks wrong. So, and Heavenly, it's like Heavenly, wrong or right, leave her the fuck alone. Y'all coming for her campaign, coming for everything. And Heavenly's never been like super close with Simone is Jackie.
Yeah.
Heavenly and Simone ain't never been that doggone close. Simone's always throwing shade at Heavenly, season after season, even when they're cool.
So when Quad's VIN number gets brought up, Quad decides to lose the campaign manager act. It was all like, "What's up, Simone? You looking at my shit? What's up, Simone? What you want? What you gonna do? What you gonna do, Simone?" And I said, "Quad." Now did I
credit
miss
score
something?
must have fell under 700, Quad, because something Simone said was true. She was charged up.
Right. Like, where the fuck this go? Wait. Hold up. Why? And I was Angel. Wait, why am I here? I ain't got no security. Why am I here? What y'all doing? I'm looking at Simone. I'm looking at Quad like, Quad. If the car really is in your name and you ain't got shit to worry about, what you get mad for? I'd be like, so Simone, how my name spelled on that, on my car and everything? Did they spell Quadira right? Just saying. Did I spell it right? I would have said that. I probably wouldn't even have engaged with Simone because who the fuck cares at the end of the day? Sarah did it again. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're subscribed to me. Hoping you're enjoying yourself so far. She said that she is new to us and she has a question. Do you believe that Quad should be on the show? Why or why not? That's a tough one because I go back and forth with that. I do. There are times I feel like the show tried to move forward without Quad, and it was extremely boring. So I feel that she does bring a different dynamic to the show because she once was married to a doctor. So I do think that she brings the after effect. If you choose to leave a doctor, this is what you could potentially be. I do feel like that's important to see, regardless if people agree with that or not. I do feel like that element of being divorced from one should be shown too. Now, don't come on the show after you've been married to one. We saw her married, filed for divorce, get divorced and then become single and then get into a whole new relationship. I do think that that's good to show. Now, do I think that she should have gone as long as this? Probably not. But I do think that at one point in time, it was important to see that element too. Mrs. Best, how do you feel about that question?
I mean, housewives used to be where you were married, and if housewives got divorced, they could stay. So I kind of view it as she was married to Medicine. She's part of the original flagship cast. She divorced. But I mean, if on other shows, once you divorce, you could stay. I don't see why she can't on this one either. I think where they're getting it right finally is hiring people like Brandy, who are not married but work in healthcare on the show. The problem with Quad, she's not connected to healthcare in any way. If she didn't have this fertility journey, she wouldn't connect to medicine. So I'll say, because they've added who they've added, she works on the cast. But if they were to actually get a different cast full of women who are actually married to medicine or married and working in medicine, then I would think she would need to go. But if they're going to leave it like this, then she's fine.
Okay, good. Yeah, I have a love-hate with Quad. There's times I like her, there's times I don't. This was one of the times where I'm just like, I don't think that this was a good look for her to do all that rah-rah, all that.
Quad is mad and triggered because obviously when Simone mentioned credit, that's when she got mad and started hollering. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Your credit score may not be the best, Quad, but stop getting mad over people talking about what you have and what you don't have. If you know you good and what you got is enough, then stop hollering. It's not that deep. I just feel like Quad and Simone are going to be arguing like well after I'm dead and in the ground. Like, I'm going to go up to the gates of heaven, waiting my turn to see if I'm going to get in, and Quad and Simone going to be holding up the line, just arguing. I feel like they just argue to argue at this point. Like, you know that Simone throws shade at you, Quad. She's never stopped throwing shade at you, even after you guys make peace. So instead of getting mad at shit, start to have expectations and realize the bitch ain't your friend and it ain't never going to be what it is. And then I feel like, Quad, if you can't get over it and gonna get that mad, then leave the show or move on. But I'm tired of these two.
All right. Sorry about the sirens if y'all hear them in the background. But so Simone is hollering, talking about some Quad, you got that credit bad though, Quad, ain't it? That credit bad and all this and that. So Angel said, Simone, I cannot invite you to my events if you're going to do all of this hollering and yelling. She goes, well, you know what, Angel? You don't need to have me at your event. If you can't correct your friend, then you don't need to have me at your... Simone, I'm going to tell you one more time. Can I have you at my event if you're going to yell and holler? She goes, why aren't you checking your friend quiet? Why are you all up on me? I'm going to deal with her in a minute. But I am telling you right now, I'm not going to have this at my events going forward. I'm not going to have this hollering. I'm not going to have this yelling. Do you understand me? She go, yeah, I understand. And Simone couldn't do nothing. Angel, I have to give it to you. That's how you handle people. Y'all, Angel clocked in. Angel wasn't scared. Angel was in her face. And Angel didn't raise her voice. Angel didn't do none of that. Angel said, listen to me. We're not having this at another. If I throw another event and y'all do this, I'm telling you now, y'all gonna put the fuck out. So I'm not gonna deal with this.
I wouldn't have gave nobody no warning. We are all professionals. Angel, have security at every event because the world is a crazy place. And if that bitch is gonna be telling me who I'm supposed to check at my event, then I would have checked her the fuck out of my event. You can leave. Mm-hmm. You can leave. And if you don't leave, you're never invited again. But you're gonna leave. You're gonna leave. That's but I do like that she tried to handle it, but at the same time, it's like, what did y'all expect you on a TV show? So you got to know that at your events, people are going to fight and scream. Mm-hmm. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
Yeah. And the last thing, here come Contest. Okay, but I got to throw this girls trip together. Simone, you gonna come to my girls trip, right? Yes, Contest, I'm coming. Heavenly, you gonna come to this event, right? Heavenly crap me up. She said, God damn it, Contestant, yes, I'm coming to this event. I said, Contest. Now, Simone, I hope at the reunion, because if y'all remember correctly, Contessa was the one who actually originated this whole Simone looking at people's shit. It actually came from Contessa first. She baited Heavenly in because as much as she don't like Heavenly, y'all have to remember these two were once best friends. So if she know how to bait her, she know how to get Heavenly swarmed up where she could sit back in the cut and watch. Contessa ain't no good. I hope at the reunion they confront that shit. Because Contessa was the one who started that. Y'all remember, go back and watch that episode and watch Contessa baiting Heavenly into that shit. But that's where we left it off. It was, girl, but I tell y'all, this episode was a fucking mess. It was shit coming from everywhere. Like, literally, like, you have Mimi versus Angel, which I'm sorry, Mimi versus Brandy, which I'm split between the middle of them two. You have Toya versus Angel, which I'm on Angel's side with that one. You have Toya versus Heavenly, which I'm more so leaning towards Heavenly. You had Heavenly versus Simone. I'm more so on Heavenly side with that. So much shit going on everywhere. Yeah, she was on Basketball Wives LA. She was.
Dr. Mimi better be careful though, because Dr. Mimi, I'm struggling to read her.
Yeah.
I'm definitely struggling to read her, but she's slowly, increasingly becoming more messy. So I'm looking at Dr. Mimi and Brandy right now with side eyes. I don't really care for either of them individually.
As I said, I understood what Mimi was saying, but at the same time, that's not what you do when it comes to this kind of situation.
She knows better than anyone on the cast
of
behavior and decorum. Yes. She understands better than anyone how stuff can be interpreted and how it looks. So I don't know. I'm not liking really any of the newbies thus far except for Angel, but we gonna see. And Cecil, stop commenting on women that aren't your wife's bodies when they come out into the scene and at events, because he has done this at every event with all of the women. I thought she'd be in stuff. She's blah blah blah. I said, Simone just be laughing.
And then Simone just be
I'm talking that shit because he does that so freaking often. And Toya, you up there talking about Jackie's husband, but Cecil got comments galore. Galore. He needs to stop.
Lord Jesus. But that was Married to Medicine, y'all. It was a great episode. I saw Quad get Giselle together, which made my night. It was hilarious. I said, you better get a Quad, even though that deserved to go to Robin. But, by default, Giselle can get it too.
Why did it deserve to go to Robin? Robin didn't see it. Huh? Did you watch the receipt or did you just watch What Happens Live? Because it came out of Giselle's mouth.
It did?
Yes. If you scroll and what I sent you, it shows the receipt on the second page.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. That's why Giselle's getting her ass handed to her. She threw Robin under the bus. So people like, damn, you gonna throw your friend under the bus for something.
That's what she do. That's what Giselle does. Giselle does that a lot. And y'all gotta be careful. That ain't nobody you call your friend. If she gonna throw you, I would never throw Mrs. Best under the bus like that. Like never, not ever. I said
if you know it's filmed and recorded, just tell the truth.
Yeah, even if you did say it, I said it. like even if she didn't say it, I said it. But James, we hear it coming out, Mrs. Best. I said it. She ain't here right now. I'm here. I said it.
Giselle ain't right. Giselle ain't right. Shani said what happened. Giselle tried to say that Robin was talking about Married to Medicine negatively on the show, but it was not Robin who made the statement that Quad did not like. It was actually Giselle. But Quad reminded her publicly on Watch What Happens Live that Married to Medicine is outdoing Salt Lake City and Potomac right now. And Giselle just had to sit there. And Andy was chuckling because he gonna let Married to Medicine do what they want because Potomac is struggling. I don't care what nobody says. Potomac is struggling.
Potomac is hanging by a thread. Like when I tell you this, the little bit of thread, because the show is ridiculous. We finna talk about Potomac because I didn't like that episode. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all not gonna want to miss this live. Y'all better get ready because we going in where we need to go in there. Me and Mrs. Best was both texting each other talking about, oh hell no, these episodes lost their mind. So we will see you guys on the next recap. Like, comment, and subscribe. Once again, shout out to our newbie in the chat. Sarah did it again. We appreciate you being here. Glad that you found us. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we will thank you way in advance when I get to my road to 500 and even before. I love you guys. I will see you guys on my next live. Bye-bye.